Only take a when I'm this. I'm the gang 3 times on my headstone. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on a headstone. Too late, he already lived. Right now I'm on the edge, so don't push me. Troublesome to 96. You a shook one, breeze and know the ledge. I'm your, what's that? I smell. Let me count my. I'm 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Run. Hi, my name is Dirk Cobain. Like a. Here I go to the next episode. Ain't no damn this explosive Beast Coast. Yeah. The mother ride or die for my. Strictly for my. Survival of the fittest. That's the sound of the police. I'm indeed.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Miami Dolphins. It's an Indian summer afternoon, perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Being chased out left. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Now back to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
Detroit! Detroit! Here we go now. Blue 90! Blue 90! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And some room to roam now. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Todd Gurley, his second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Leopard! Leopard!
Now they toss out wide to Sanders. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Now a handoff here to his running back. They find some open field here. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive. Just past the 30-yard line. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. Boy, some big runs here, Charles, already in this first quarter.
Yep, the lanes are there. Go ahead and exploit them. But what I like the most, how decisive he is, putting his foot in the ground and going.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to run.
And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. Reed wrestling ahead toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. First foray into the red zone for Miami. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Reed for a Dolphins touchdown. In for the score. And the Dolphins are in for 6. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Avoids him at the 40. 38 yards on the scamper there. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Lucky 56. Detroit. All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hall. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They're on the march, but facing a third down here.
Watch it now, Barney. Gone.
Looking to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. David Njoku, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up.
3 weeks, 3 touchdowns. It's obvious they've looked his way early and often in the red zone this year. And that's usually a pretty good place to find a tight end in the NFL.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he finds Corey Davis. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 43. Now a handoff for Gurley. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And a short gain down to about the 33. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Finding room to the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Raiders have moved out in front. Now McManus for the extra point. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is now 21-14. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out come the Dolphins now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A good first down call as the screen play gets him 9.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll go option to the short side. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get
blitz coming, and down he goes.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. This is taken at the 23. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. And now here come the Raiders. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We'll come back to Miami after this.
Gone! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Detroit!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Finding some room at midfield. Throw left side complete. It's Bird. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
All right, now, lucky 56.
And they'll go on the ground. And now running right through it. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Eddie Pleasant in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And to give this time to the tailback. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. They'll set up a throw. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Flush to his right. And he'll go down at the 28. Now, before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Delta.
Now it's the backup Bridgewater. He's got the hookup with Conley. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Throwing is Bridgewater. And he's got it. Teddy Bridgewater, a cool moment for him. His first touchdown pass since the final week of the 2016 season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. McManus's point after is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now McManus on to kick this one off. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? When they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. The Raiders on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
And on 4th and 1 as a running back, you're looking for any seam you can find. This is not where you want to be a hero and break off a big one. You just need to make sure you get...
And now the rookie's free. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A great play there. 48 yards. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Right,
So second and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. They'll look to throw. Completes it to Davis. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there... it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting... That's caught at the 25. It's a big play there for Miami. And even 40 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays... they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than a defensive back.
And now a fumble. The ball's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Gurley. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Back to throw. And the Raiders have got him.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. Third and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing. All right, they didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. run. Space to maneuver at the 40. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Delta. Ready. Motion. Ready. Use you. Come to me, it's me. Quick whip. Watch the whip. Go Delta. Ready.
A give running left. It's Sanders. And he gets it down to the 32. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. This O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
Another run with Sanders. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great effort there. 37 yards. And the Raiders add on to their lead. McManus now for the extra point. Extra point from McManus is good. Back now in Miami. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Well, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
He'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
They'll set up to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Detroit!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. Adam Gase rolls the dice. It doesn't pan out. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth. And we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Go Delta.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Get wide now. Got three down. Go Delta.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a nice spin into some open field. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
McManus's point after is good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And now with the play clock winding down, Adam Gase says, let's take a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Reed. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is caught at the 20. A big play there for the Dolphins. And even 40 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. 3 down.
Now back to throw. Flushed out right. His throw caught right around the 6. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another 1st down.
Hey. Here we go now. 3:19. 3:19.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. Pretty move. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. Give him 30 yards there. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Go Delta. Go Delta.
Throwing here, Bridgewater. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now. But that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Detroit!
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Cliff Averill. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now they'll pitch it back to Gurley. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Todd Gurley, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
This quarterback now 5 of 6, very accurate since taking over, and he's got his guys a first down. Bridgewater here to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, Bridgewater. On the crossing route, complete. It's Bird. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it? Yeah. This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Again, they run with Gurley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Raiders, it's an ideal start as they